The topic today is an unequally yoked marriage. Isn't that an interesting topic? No one wrote in with that, but the person who searches for topics for us gave this to me, and I thought this is really interesting. I am Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation, and most of you have probably never really even heard of this yoked marriage, much less an unequally yoked marriage. But I heard it because of my age. It was not an uncommon phrase. So if you look up what a yoke is, it's this contraption, you might say. It's usually made out of wood, and it goes across, and it has two holes for the heads of two cattle. And what they did was, if they had some money in the old days, a peasant would have two cattle pulling their plow or their cart, and they were yoked together. So somehow this phrase started becoming used for a husband and wife who are yoked together. And so the unequally yoked couple is one where one is so different from the other, and the term unequally implies one is superior to the other. So I'm imagining that if you're watching this video, you're thinking you're the superior cattle or the superior spouse. So let me start off by saying the Marriage Foundation is a very different organization in regards to marriage than all of these others, which are based on fundamentally Western psychological ideas. And they're all wrong when it comes to marriage. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. So, you got married for two basic reasons. And this is universal. You got married because you wanted to be happier. Subconsciously, maybe. You just knew you would be. And more than just happier, you wanted to be happier every single day of your lives. And I unfortunately have to reveal to you that no one ever thinks about that when they're getting married. In fact, they think somehow, they believe this nonsense. I don't know who came up with it initially. It doesn't matter. Everyone's taken it on, that the happiest day of a wife's life is the day of her wedding. Oh my God, which means everything else is downhill from there. So, you got married to be happier every day of your life. And you got married for a very spiritual reason, which is to experience marital love, i.e., unconditional love, i.e., divine love. Western psychology is all about fixing problems. All about it. They make excuses for everything. Well, my husband is emotionally abusive. No, you are taking messages into yourself based on filters in your mind that suggest that he intentionally wants to hurt you emotionally. But you don't know anything about emotions, and Western psychologists really don't know anything about emotions either. I've defined emotions, and you could find this in my books. You could find it in the courses that I have, which is, again, all geared towards understanding so you can make the best use of your marriage to achieve unconditional love and increasing happiness every day of your lives. So they missed the boat on that. They missed the boat on understanding emotions, marriage, and pretty much everything in between. And so it becomes different now, and you need to adjust. So subscribe to this channel so you could start getting a sense of the right way to live your marriage, even though you think you're unequally yoked. So, again, unequally yoked is suggesting that your spouse is inferior to you. Really? That's like saying a chicken is inferior to, I don't know, a cat. You can't do it. It's apples and oranges. It's not the same. You're not the same as your spouse. Even in same gender marriages, you're not the same. You're a unique individual, and so you cannot use a measuring stick. Now, you might be more moral than your spouse, and if so, then I would suggest, where is the morality in judging your spouse? You might be more intelligent than your spouse, but they may be more intuitive. You may be more serious than your spouse. Maybe you need to lighten up and match what they perceive as a more open attitude towards life as it comes to them. But most importantly is you're not appreciating your spouse for who they are and gaining a perspective of life through their eyes, which is what marriage is all about. It's about giving and receiving, but the giving should be all in, and the receiving should be learning about what it is that they have that is special. Why did you fall in love with them? They must have had some character traits that you found really loving, really adorable. Why no longer? What happened to you? Because they didn't change. They should be changing. You should be changing. You should be evolving. You don't be born into life with a body, a mind, and being a soul. You should constantly evolve. You should go deeper and deeper into who you are and learn more and more about how to evolve as a human being. Isn't it a funny thing? We all readily say, I'm not perfect. But when I ask, what's your biggest flaw? You go, right? Well, for me, part of being married is learning how to be introspective. I even developed a technique for that called the SO technique, where you watch your thoughts, you watch your feelings, and you correct them according to what you know is right and wrong. And in this case, this is very important for you to do. Yes, subscribe to this channel. Yes, buy one of my books, or take the course for either men or for women, so you can really learn not how to fix this problem, but how to become an incredible spouse, an incredible human being, and get into the joy of your soul, of who you are, and fill your marriage with that. Marriage is spectacular, but you got to know how to do it. I'll teach you. And for now, blessings to you. Blessings to your unequally yoked spouse. Thank you for spending time with me. Like this video, and we'll see you next time. Take care.